This is Heather from Beyond Labs. I'd like to show you what is happening right now in the evening sky with what is called the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, what some people are calling the Christmas star on the winter solstice. So we can see where all of the planets are in their orbits right now. If we start up time, passing very slowly day by day, you can see them moving in their orbits. Very, very slowly we'll accelerate time so you can see, okay, there is some movement. That doesn't make much sense. How does that show us the conjunction? So I'm going to slow down time again, and I'm going to zoom down to the surface of the Earth, looking out towards the evening sky. I can rotate around as if now it's daytime. I'm looking at that. Oh, okay, here, look, we've got Jupiter and Saturn. Let's go to right when the sun goes down, right here, and we can see they're almost right on top of each other. That's the conjunction right there. So now let's change our perspectives. Let's head back out. And we can see them moving. It's a little bit confusing though with all of the planets here. So let's take some of our planets off of our viewing area. So I'll take off all of these extra planets that make our perspective a little bit harder to see. Get rid of Mercury. There we go. Okay, so now we see Earth, Jupiter, Saturn. And now it makes sense. We're looking out, and it is true. If we looked out this direction, Jupiter and Saturn would be exactly in line. So if I go down to the surface of Earth and look out, okay, they are exactly in line. Now, the last time this happened on Earth, when when they were lined up just like this, was back in 1623. Let me show you exactly what that looked like from the surface of Earth at that point. Okay, here we are in 1623. Here's the Earth, here's Jupiter, and here's Saturn. At this day in history, if you were looking out, it wouldn't have been at evening time, right? Because you'd have to be facing towards the sun to be able to have them seeing them at evening time. This would have been late in the middle of the night when the Earth would have rotated to that point. And if we zoom down to the surface of the Earth at this point, you would see Jupiter and Saturn right on top of each other at that point in the sky. Apparently in 1623, though, it wasn't very visible based on the time of day, the conditions. So now let's go back in time, another 400 years, back to 1226. Okay, here we are back in 1226, 800 years ago. Apparently this is the last time when on Earth they could actually see this conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, the two brightest planets out in the sky, which would have looked like a star to them. So here, if we go down to the surface of the Earth, you would have looked out, seen Jupiter and Saturn almost aligned. Here we'll zoom down and see where the moon is at that phase at that point. And now we're going to let time pass. I'll go pretty slowly here. You'll see, okay, so over days passing, the moon would be at a different phase, and you can see they're starting to get closer and closer. I'll accelerate time. And as they're going around their orbits, that's when they hit conjunction, right at that time when they would have been so bright together there in the sky. So there you go. That's what we can use to explain what's going on in the sky this year for the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And we hope this helps explain it from a couple different perspectives.